So normally the first question that I have for most people that come to purchase koi from me is, what size is your pond? Because the conditions in which you keep your fish are probably the most important aspect of really having an enjoyable experience with koi. A common misconception is, well, I have a body of water, so people go and they buy a ton of small koi and they throw them in there, and they don't have a true understanding of the pounds of fish per gallons of water, and as a result they buy all these beautiful koi and they fill this pond up, and in 6 months they're calling you because they have horrible conditions. Well, a little bit of education goes a long way. Koi grow an inch a month in the proper conditions. Quality of food is very, very important. Ultimately, your goal as a koi keeper is to create a condition that allows the koi to become the managers of your pond. So even though you may only have the ability to take and keep 5 koi, you want to purchase them at a size that will allow them to acclimate themselves to the conditions of the pond, and then you will be able to take and get the best results from them. So, first question, size of your pond. Let's do a calculation. Then it's about creating that collection. So if I can only house 7 fish, let's not just sell you fish. It's not a buy, kill, buy mentality. A lot of koi places will take and sell you fish. They don't care about the conditions. They're not going to ask you these questions. My goal is to create an experience that will become a truly enjoyable one. I don't want you to buy all the fish that I have. I want you to buy the fish that will suit you best. There are so many varieties of koi that the true matter is, which ones do you like? And when you take and understand what you like, then my goal is to create the palette that's going to become the canvas in which these fish will develop. So we're going to take and add 5 fish that really make sense. And they're going to take and be introduced into an environment that seems huge when you first start out. You're going to look at them and you're going to go like, oh my God, I only have 5 fish and look at all this water. Be patient. Those fish are going to develop. They're going to turn into what they truly have the potential of becoming. Simply because we deal with top breeders, the genetics are already in the fish. So it's really about choosing a fish that you like as a young fish and watch it develop. That's what koi keeping is really about. You learn as you see the fish develop. You realize there's different ways to keep the fish. There's different foods. One of the big problems is people get koi, they see them as small, and they feel like, we got to feed them. They want to power feed them. They want them to become these huge koi. No. Let your koi become the manager of your pond. So give them enough food. But in the wild, they would feed themselves. So you just become a supplemental addition to how they would survive. And they definitely are going to develop from it. So give them a good quality food. But don't overfeed them. And in doing that, the fish will take and acclimate. They'll take and develop. They'll become specimens. When they become specimens, they become the managers. When they become the managers, Japanese say that hungry koi are healthy koi, meaning that they're doing what koi should do. They're foraging, they're looking around for food. If your fish are lethargic, you're giving them entirely too much food. And more importantly, you need to give them food that has quality substance to it so that they absorb all the nutritional value that this food you're providing them with. You can throw them anything. You can feed them food that has so much filler that that koi is just becoming a machine that is eating and producing waste that takes and burdens the system that is filtrating the water. Well, your goal is to give them a higher concentration of high proteins, that everything that they eat, they're going to produce minimal waste, and the system will flow properly. And that goes back to that whole poundage per fish per gallons of water. So, first question, how big is your pond? Do the calculation. Understand, even though the fish is small, it's going to grow into its environment. If you give it ideal environments, it will take and reach its best potential. Do not overstock your pond. And secondly, do not overfeed your fish. If you follow these simple principles, you'll get great results and you will enjoy the hobby of keeping koi. And as you keep the koi, your eye will become sharper and you'll start realizing that in spite of what you initially selected, as you grow these koi, you're going to realize, wow, there's certain lines, there's certain aspects of the fish that I want to improve, and you'll take and find the right addition to your collection that's going to make it an outstanding collection. Koi keeping is an art form. It should be a relaxing experience that brings the whole family together, where you all come to sit down. Not only do you enjoy the space that the koi are in, you enjoy the fish themselves. It allows you to take and really develop an understanding of koi collecting. When you take and get the right fish, start with good bloodlines. Start with a reputable breeder. Learn about the breeder. All that information is available to you. Each of the fish that you purchase has a lineage. You can take and create a wonderful collection in spite of the size of your pond, based upon the research that you do. That's what keeping a collection of koi is about. It's about enjoying the journey and not only watching them develop, but you start to develop yourself, because it's a very tranquil experience and one that sharpens your eye and separates you from the hectic, chaotic life that you deal with on a daily basis. When you go sit by your pond, it is probably the most relaxing point of your day. When you collect koi, you're going to find the first thing you do in the morning is go sit down and feed your fish. And the next thing you're going to do when you get home, you're going to go feed your fish. So you'll find that that time that you spend around your koi is probably the best part of your day. So my advice is, check your pond size, do a little bit of research, learn. The more information you get, the better the experience will be. And when you take and do these simple steps, how many gallons, how many fish can I accommodate? Quality of food, don't overfeed the fish. You'll get the best results possible and you will enjoy this hobby for years and years to come. Remember, these koi live on average 30 years. The oldest recorded koi lived 200 years. Can you imagine? Those become part of your entire experience in life. It becomes something that you'll pass down to your children, your family, and hopefully they'll all enjoy it as much as you did when you started out.